to my very last breath. I'm balling to my very last breath.
On the topic of tonight's game, who do you got, man? It's a tough week one start, Thursday night fucking starter right here, firing off.
Well, you know who I got. I can't go against my morals. I got the Chiefs week one. I
Right.
would feel stupid if I bet against them, but I do think the Ravens have a lot more to prove, and I think they're going to go out there firing. To me, this is a 50-50 game. Certainly not a game I would put a lot of money on. You know, it's
No.
up in the air, and I think it's going to be a great matchup, and I think there's going to be points scored.
Right. Get the popcorn bucket out. Points are going on the board.
That being said, though, I'm going with the Chiefs. So,
Yeah.
who do you got, Chop, week one?
You got to go Chiefs here. I mean, the Ravens, if you look at Lamar's stats against the Chiefs, he melts.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just an absolute puddle of himself out on the field. And until he can prove me he can actually play against Mahomes and not shit his pants, then maybe I might consider taking the Ravens here. But till then, you got to go with Patty Mahomes. He's done it every time.
Yeah, I think the Ravens are 1-4 against, or at least Lamar is 1-4 against Pat Mahomes. So
Yeah, that's a no-brainer for me.
yeah, I could see the Ravens coming out and winning. I mean, like I said, they got a lot to play for, and the Chiefs kind of early on in the season have been known to sputter. But the only problem with this game is that it's prime time, so Pat's gonna shine. You know it's gonna happen.
Right.
It's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be like, you know, that game a couple years ago, Goff versus Mahomes, where it was 52-45. I think it's going to be something like that. I at least see both teams scoring in the high 20s, probably into the 30s tonight.
Yeah.
So
Comes down to who's got the ball last.
yeah, this is a revenue game for the NFL for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a sheer entertainment game. So
Yeah. All right, and who do you got for picks this weekend? We got a tough slate. Week one, they always try and do some tough matchups for us.
they do always do some tough matchups, but the book doesn't have it figured out yet, so it is a good opportunity to make some money. First one I'm looking at here, Chop. It's just probably a regular half unit bet. You know, put $50 on it or $20 on it. I like the Hawks covering here against a rookie quarterback at home. The Hawks defense has been together for a while. I think they're going to form into a pretty solid unit this year and give Bo Nix some trouble week one. Hawks winning by a touchdown doesn't seem like too tall of a task to me, so I like that as my first pick of the week. I'm going with the fan bet week one.
I like it. I think, Sean Payton is going to keep it within an arm's reach, but there's no way the Hawks don't run away with this by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, I just like that number there. I mean, if it was 7.5, I'd be a little bit more scared of it, but I can drop 6, or we could buy it down to 4.5. Tip to everybody listening. Cole and I usually always buy the spread down about 1.5, so I'll probably end up taking them at -4.5 and then putting a little less on -6 as well. I think that's a doable number.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Who do you got, Chop? Who are you confident in this week to cover? Or
my most confident is the Falcons this week. I just think, God, they did too much in the offseason not to be excited about them. An already good defense. You bring in Justin Simmons and Matthew Judon, 2 bona fide Pro Bowlers, to really lock that defense down. And then offense-wise, you got a top 5 O-line with 3 young weapons in Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson. Now you bring in Kirk Cousins. I just don't see how the Steelers even stand a chance in this. I mean, I understand they have a great defense. They got things going on offense as well that are new. But, I mean, for a 3.5 spread, you buy a point down for a field goal, so you leave it at -2.5. That seems like a cakewalk if you ask me.
Yeah, I like it. Home team week one. There's a lot of excitement around that team. I will say, though, I am excited to see what the Steelers do this year. I mean, going from what they had in the last couple of years and still being a 9 to 10 win team, and then bringing in some talent in the QB room. I mean, I really think this is a prove-it deal for Russ. You've taken money out of the equation. He's on a 1-year, $1 million deal. Maybe not week one. It's such a new system for them. But I do think that they'll end up being a solid team. But I like your pick here. I like it. I think home team week one with that much hype around them, it's a good pick. We got a few more here, Chop. We don't want to spill all the beans. Well, I think we could probably both agree on this one. I personally like the Browns at 2.5 points week 1
That was my next pick there.
against the Cowboys. So that's another home team you're betting on against the Cowboys with a lot of question marks. CeeDee Lamb's practiced for a week. Not a whole lot going in the running back room besides a couple veterans. And the Browns are a young, fresh, talented roster. You got Deshaun healthy. I think they cover a release by a field goal, so I like that number a lot at home.
Yeah, to me that seems like an easy one. Never been a huge Cowboys fan, but emotion aside, I just don't think they have what it takes. I think the Browns defense is scary. And I think with the lack of offseason with Dak and his main weapon, sure, they have chemistry, but God, all that stuff matters, especially week 1.
It does, yeah.
And I think a good defense will exploit it.
I do too. I like the Browns. I like the Browns week 1. But
All right, so we got three solid picks for the viewers here.
yeah, we got Hawks covering. We got the Browns covering 2.5, and then you have the Falcons. You have them covering, or you have them money line there.
We have them. I bought down a point, covering 2.5.
Covering 2.5. I like that. Okay. If you could do one underdog for the week, just to spice it up for the fans out there that want some plus money odds, what would you think for an underdog this week? I know what I got here. Honestly, I'm going to take the Giants at home. They've got their back against the wall. Last year couldn't have been much worse. But you're playing the Vikings at home, a team whose quarterback just went down for the year. JJ, I believe he's a little banged up, or at least he's coming off that injury from last year. Typically takes receivers to get a little bit of time to get going after a big injury like that. I think the Giants at home, they got Daniel Jones, they've added Malik Neighbors. They did pick up Devin Singletary. If that O-line can hold up, I think they can pull this out at home. They're plus 1.5. So Brian Dabble back against the wall. I think he's a tough coach. So they got to go. They have to win this game. It's a must-win.
They have to.
Believe it or not, I think this is a must-win week 1 for the Giants.
Yeah. This is the most must-win week 1 game we've probably seen.
Yeah, so that's what I'm taking for my underdog of the week.
All right, my underdog is division rival. I'm going Indianapolis Colts covering and potentially winning this game against Texans.
Okay, I like that. You're taking that's +3 or plus 2.5.
+3. You got a healthy AR. His wheels are spinning. Colts have an offense, man. They have an offense. Texans very clearly have an offense. I know they made a splash in the offseason, got a lot of guys, but there's a stat it's interesting to me, but also concerning, is that the Texans only had 14 turnovers all of last year, which is pretty impressive for a football team.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Can they do that again? Can they keep that number that low for another season? Or is Stroud really that fucking good at protecting the rock?
No, I get what you're saying. That almost seems a little bit fluky,
It seems a little fluky. Not even the best of the best don't do that.
Right.
So I think there's bound to be a little more turnovers this year. Now, am I saying there's going to be 3 turnovers in week 1? No. But I think the Colts are going to keep this thing. They're going to keep firing off. I think it's going to go blow for blow and come down to the wire here.
I agree with you. I'm looking at this here. 81% of the public has Houston money line. 57% of the public has the spread. Houston's a heavy favorite in this game. And I wanted to stay away from it because the Colts scare me at home. And especially with that group, that Houston Texans group, you're mixing in so many new names on offense. That can take some time to blend, especially from a wide receiver standpoint. There's going to be guys fighting over touches and all that. So Colts are hungry as it gets. So I like that. Maybe even buying it to plus 4.5. I think that game is going to be a good one for sure.
There's always going to be the Stephon Diggs tantrum on the sidelines if he doesn't touch the rock.
Yeah, I didn't want to say
on the first drive.
You said it though, so yeah.
So if he doesn't touch the rock in the first drive, I think there might be a lot of opportunities where Stroud has his guy open, but he's got to feed this guy so he doesn't keep fucking chirping on the sidelines.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And
Factor.
there's a lot of guys, there's a lot of mouths to feed there on that offense, which at some point is going to be a great thing. But figuring that out early on is tough. And the Colts are just scary. I mean, with fully healthy A. Richardson, they're a hungry team. You know, they know how good they can be. I don't think anybody ever wanted to play them last year, even with Minshew starting. So it's just a tough team to play.
Yeah, well, we got some fun ones to watch. Any last notes you got for us, Chuck?
Well, we had a great fantasy draft last weekend. We all got together, and the boys got to see each other. I thought it was a very civil draft. We all took our turns speaking, and we put in some good rules. QB wasn't drafted to the 5th round, and it feels like we're really growing up. You know, it was an awesome showing from the boys. It was great to see everybody. I hope all the boys tune in, and I hope we get some input on these picks. And just looking forward to it. We got some great matchups in week 1.
Absolutely.
So, yep. What do you think? What's your final remarks on this one here, Chop?
Get your popcorn ready. There's going to be a lot of offense going.
Yeah, it's good.
Can't wait to just melt in the couch, listen to Scott Hansen for 7 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. Definitely looking
Music to
forward
my
it.
ears.
So tap in. We always every week we got one, awesome whale pick for you guys. We won't share it on the podcast. We give you guys a few of our go-tos that we like covering, and then we also have a few that we left out. So if you guys are curious or want to know more, tap in. If you got our information on social media, follow Impact Sports on Instagram. That's at Impact Exchange, and that's also where this will be posted on YouTube. So we're looking forward to it, and we love you guys. So peace out.
His blood.